So this is chapter 1E on your basic addition and subtraction. In this skill, we will practice rounding numbers, estimating answers to decimal problems, and then adding and subtracting decimals. So the first skill is simply to round numbers. So the instructions read, round the following decimals to the nearest whole number. And when I say to the nearest whole number, that means a number that has no decimals. So for example, in A, 5.9 is a decimal. So we want to round it to the nearest whole number, which means there's no decimal. So here's a rule. If the number behind the decimal is between the numbers 0 to 4, the whole number that's in front of the decimal will stay. If it's between the numbers 5 to 9, you have to round the number up. So 5.9, since we want to round it to the nearest whole number, we have to look at the 0.9. Since it is between the scale of 5 to 9, we have to round the number up. So this becomes 6. In B, we have 4.3. So is this 4.3 closer to 4 wholes, or is it closer to 5? So we have to look at the 0.3, and let's see, it's between 0 to 4. That means the whole number has to stay. So this is closer to 4. So if you know what to do at this time, go ahead and pause. If not, I'll show one more example. In the next one, we want to round that 1. Is this 1.91 closer to 1, or is it closer to 2? So we still have to look at the number directly behind the decimal because we want to affect the whole number. And since it's between 5 to 9, it rounds up. So this one becomes 2. So this time, pause and try to do DEF. So this was closest to 6, this was close to 4, this is close to 2. 2.34 is closer to 2 because 0.3 forces the whole number to stay. Now 8.46, what you have to do again is look at the number behind the decimal, not at the 6, but the number behind the decimal. So this one's closer to still to 8. And then finally 0.54, we have to decide what happens at 0. Does it go up or does it stay? So since 5 is between 5 and 9, this rounds up to 1. So in skill 2, it's about estimating answers to decimal problems, meaning getting the answer based on a very educated guess with rounding. So step 1, round the numbers to the nearest whole number. Then 2, complete the operation. So in A, we have to round 43.4 to the nearest whole number. And that will round to be 43 because 0.4 keeps the 3 at 43. Then 6.8, well, that 0.8 forces that 6 to go up to 7. So 43 plus 7 makes 50. So this answer for A is approximately 50. So we would say the answer is approximately squiggly equal sign to indicate approximately equal to 50. In B, 89.23 to the nearest whole number. So if is that closer to 89 or is it closer to 90? Well, it's closer to 89. Then I have to subtract 18.7. Is that closer to 18 or is that closer to 19? Well, the 7 makes it go up to 19. So 89 minus 19 is 70. So the answer to 89.23 minus 18.7 is approximately 70. So at this time, pause and try to do C and D. Okay, so if we round this off, C is 26 plus 14. Which gives you the answer of 40. So the answer is approximately 40 for C. And in D, this is approximately 56. Take away approximately 4, which leaves you with 52. So the answer for D is approximately 52. Okay, finally, we need to be able to add and subtract decimals exactly the way they are. So here's the first example. You have 54.7 minus 2.28. Now, if this is what you tend to do, this is absolutely incorrect. The reason is because you have to stack the decimals. So to do it correctly, I'm going to write 54.7. Now I have to write 2.28 and stack the decimals. So 2.28 and subtraction sign. Okay, so now we have to subtract, but here's the problem. There's nothing above the 8. I need to put something there to subtract, so I'm going to fill it out with a 0. Now I can subtract. So you always want to have the same number of digits behind the decimal so that you can subtract or add. So let's go ahead and do this. 0 take away 8, we can't do that, so we have to borrow from our neighbor. 10 take away 8 is 2. 6 minus 2 is 4. Bring the decimal straight down. It doesn't go anywhere but straight down. 4 take away 2 is 2, and 5 take away nothing is 5. So the answer of 54.7 minus 2.28 is exactly 52.42. So at this time, pause and do A, B, C, D. Okay, let's work it out. 43.4, 6.8, adding. So you have to add 9, 10, bring your decimal straight down, 4 and 5. So the answer for A is 50.2. The next one, 89.23, take away 18.7. Remember, fill in the 0 and subtract. 3 take away 0 is 3. This has to turn into a 12 and you borrow from your neighbor. 12 take away 7 is 5. Bring down the decimal. 8 take away 8 is 0. 8 take away 1 is 7. So the answer for B is 70.58. 26.123. Stack your decimals. 13.78. Fill in the gaps. Now just add. 3, 2 plus 8 is 10, 7, 8, and 9. Bring the decimal straight down. 6 plus 3 is 9, 2 plus 1 is 3. The answer is 39.903. And finally, 56.34. Take away 3, stack the decimal, 0.7. Fill in the gaps. And let's do our work. 4 take away 0 is 4. 3 take away 7, can't do it. Borrow from your neighbor. 13 take away 7 is 6. Bring the decimal down. 5 take away 3 is 2. And then 5 take away nothing is 5. So the answer is 52.64. And that's it.